I do think you can offer an ethical side of business now, because, and I say that now because considering the current 2023 culture, where some people they don't need to hear this part of the podcast at all. They're like, oh, well, that I don't even know why you're covering this. I
Mm.
already know this. But a lot of people they have this negative view of business, perhaps not undeserved, but I would say probably deserved in many ways because there are unethical businesses out there who are trying to exploit. But if you create a business and if you like any business, and this like substitute that example into what I'm talking about. So instead of trying to exploit, you can create a business to serve, and like having the ability to generate profit enough to grow your own team, I think is how you can serve at scale. Because you can be a very good friend to your friend right now. Like whatever you can do. Let's say you're tremendous at personal training. Okay, cool. Or like you're tremendous life coach, or you're tremendous at gardening. That's cool. But if you want to serve people at scale, and you're not just doing that with one to one and you want to do like 1 to 1 billion, then you usually will need a team or a software or something. And just the process of building that, not just the goal. That's the big thing that I think people get, because like if you only think of the goal, it takes forever.
Mm.
If it's a big thing, it's kind of like, man, imagine if your goal was to lose 15 pounds and you had to work for 30 years to do it.
Mm.
Right. Very few people do that. It's like half a pound a year.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to like you have to enjoy the process of that. Right. So enjoy the process of building the big thing and still work hard. And that in itself can provide a lot of freedom. And that's the freedom some people need. Some people are in good physical condition. They don't need, my push up or pull up advice. Right. I appreciate they still hang around, but they might not need that. But they might want the freedom of having a passion that they can dedicate their life to.
Yeah, I love putting good ethics into business, and I definitely believe that it's possible. I mean, you're a good example of it. I'm getting into sales. That's a
Cool.
skill that I'm trying to develop at the moment, and similarly, sales has a lot of negative connotations to it as well. But
Right.
lately, I've consumed a lot of Alex Ramosi. Do you know who that is?
Mhm. I do
Yeah.
know. I do know. I make it my business to know at least the people that are trending right now, whether or not you agree with them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know about them. No, I listen to a lot of his content. I just want to kind of know because he's creating a cultural impact,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to kind of know what he's about, what he's saying. I don't know quite as much about him as I would in like 6 months, but yeah, like I listen to a lot of podcast business content, so I've been going through the Hormozy world.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, he talks a lot about the best sale because a lot of people, when they think about salespeople, they think they're annoying. They call you up, they try to manipulate. And while that is certainly true for some people, he claims that the best salespeople actually have lots of empathy for the people they talk to because they have to understand the person's needs so they can actually help them.
Agreed. Agreed. In my opinion, one of the foundational sales skills, and this is just me coming up with it right now, but it's something that I ponder a lot because like we're in this world of like ethical business and ethical sales, and there's a key thing that I think a lot of salespeople, however dedicated they are, like like think of someone who's like who unironically uses the word grind set on themselves,
Mm.
right? Um, which is not necessarily bad, but like like that brings a certain kind of person to mind. If you are if you are selling someone something that you know or suspect they might not need, benefit from, or want, then you are starting to cross the line into benefiting yourself and not serving them.
Right.
Okay. And I think for me, it is a much more sustainable endeavor and a much more enjoyable endeavor to not cross over that line. Right. And also it's more enjoyable and more efficient because chances are, if you are someone selling coffee cups, I'm looking at a coffee cup right now, there are more people that you could potentially talk to that want your coffee cup than you have time for,
Mm-hmm.
possibly for the rest of your life,
Yeah,
right? 10 hours a day for the rest of your life. So why are you trying to convince someone that may or may not want it, right? So,
that's a good point.
it's just like, yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me out. I really appreciate. I know you don't want this, and I can tell you don't. It won't really benefit you, but other people might. So have a great day. Let me know if your friend wants any. Done. That's it. So yeah, 100%. I I agree with that, and I think more and more so. There's going to be this line of see that stuff makes sense, right? You
Mm-hmm.
explain it to someone who's not even really into business. They're like, oh yeah, that does make sense. And
Yeah.
it's that's how I feel like a lot of the epiphanies I have that shape how I view the world right now, how I've learned. They give me that kind of like illumination where it's not necessarily new knowledge. It's something we already kind of know. It's like a hidden part, a darkened part of our stage, and a good educator or a good mentor will shine a light on it. And you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. And I think that's going to start to replace, hopefully, maybe, the image of a salesperson we have in our mind, where their ability isn't to empathize with someone, but be able to sell them anything. You
Mm.
know, you can you can sell you can sell dirt to a gardener, right? It's like okay, well, actually, that's not even a great. A gardener probably wouldn't need a lot of dirt, but it's like you sell something to someone regardless of whether or not they need it, but not that, but necessarily where you bond with someone, and from that you know what can best help them, and then if you are, you know, the um the giga salesman, then perhaps you could create a service that can help them. You know,
Mm.
that is serving people and not forcing down your thing to benefit you.